Are you looking to grow revenues, increase profitability, or obtain financing? If so, you came to the right place.
Running a business is all about leadership. How do you become a better leader? Learn from the successful entrepreneurs and business owners how to lead your organization more effectively. That's why we created Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business, to help you succeed with your host, Andrew Frazier, Business Growth Pro and CFO and founder of the Small Business Pro University. Every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're joined by experienced entrepreneurs and business owners who share their secrets to success via Livestream. Also, every Friday morning, we release a new podcast episode. Either way, you will learn about developing your business leadership skills from our roster of highly performing guest experts. Leadership Live is one of the many valuable resources provided through the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Find out more at sbpro.u.com.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Leadership Live at 8:05. This is your host, Andrew Frazier, Business Growth Pro and CFO, and also founder of the Small Business Pro University. First, I want to say happy holidays to everyone. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving. You've got the December holidays that have started as well as are coming up. And this is a great time of year. I love this time of year. So hopefully you're enjoying them. Take some time off as well if you can, but also take this time to really focus on preparing and planning for the coming year. Because as I always say, failing to plan is planning to fail, and nobody wants to fail. But there are so many opportunities coming in the coming year that definitely planning and preparing for them will will help you be way more successful in 2021. Welcome, everyone. Hey, Maria from Pittsburgh, Lenny from New York. Great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight's going to be a little different episode. And really what I want to do is take some time to share some key things that I've learned about working in the virtual environment, because we're all in the virtual environment and technology is key. And I've really been able to implement certain technologies and strategies around them that have really been super beneficial for my business. So I figured, let me take a little bit of time to share those, because in this day and age, especially as a small business owner, you have to take advantage of technology to maximize what you can do. And there's some amazing programs and technologies and platforms out there that you may not know about. So what I wanted to do is take a little bit of time today focused on technologies that you can use really that help you be more successful in the virtual environment. Many of these you may use or have used, but most people don't use them to the fullest extent and understand the capabilities. So I want to take a little bit of time to talk about that and share that, because that's something practical you can take with you into the new year. What I'm going to do, so today's topic and what we're going to focus on today is using technology to work virtually like a pro. And really, this stuff is not rocket science. It's not hard, but if you don't know it, you don't know it. If you haven't been exposed to it, you haven't been exposed to it. And, I've picked up a lot of things over this past year and just want to share some of those with you as well. And what we're going to do this week, we're going to do that. Next week, we're going to focus on, I've picked up and have been working on many technology platforms that have really helped me to be able to scale my business, to be able to automate things within my business, to be able to make a greater impact, do a lot more as a small business. So I want to share some of those as well, because I was looking at it. I'm using over 20 different technologies online, and learn them just from other people who have introduced them to myself, doing some searches and other things. But definitely want to make sure you are aware of them and have access to them. So next week, we're going to really go through a whole bunch of platforms and what they do and how they can help you with your business. And all of these things are things that I've used or that I currently use, that I've had a chance to really understand what they do and how they can help your business. So definitely looking forward to that as well. So tonight, that's what we're going to focus on: technology. How can you use that better and more effectively to really be able to maximize what you're doing in the virtual environment? So again, Leadership Live, Andrew Frazier, I'm here and excited about talking to you this evening. So before we get started, just want to show you, introduce you to the Small Business Pro University. You may have heard of it. You may be a little familiar with it, but just in case, I want to just, we'll take 60 seconds to learn a little bit more about it. And then what we'll do is we'll get started and talk about some of these, how to more effectively use technology in the virtual environment. Okay? Do you own your business, or does it own you? Is your business growing, and are you making enough money? As a business owner, there are so many things you need to know to become more successful. Hello, my name is Andrew Frazier, the Business Growth Pro and CFO. I created the Small Business Pro University for you. Small Business Pro University has self-paced, dynamic, multimedia learning experiences created by more than 20 instructors who are business owners just like you. Small Business Pro University will empower you to become a masterpreneur by learning the secrets to creating a successful enterprise, to go from working in your business to working on your business. Take advantage of our strategic coaching program, or just simply choose the courses that you need at www.sbprou.com. We will empower you to thrive and not just survive, and make more money in any business environment. Welcome back to Leadership Live at 8:05, talking small business. This is Andrew Frazier, Business Pro, and excited to be here. So definitely during the holiday season, a lot of good things are happening. Encourage you to be careful and definitely take advantage of things, but also you don't want to take any unnecessary risks. Wish you and your families a happy holiday season. What I want to start out with is everybody does video conferencing, working with people on different platforms, be it Zoom, be it Teams, be it Google, be it GoToMeeting, and that's something that really took off in the virtual environment. But one of the things I still see is many people are not taking advantage of the benefits of the platforms and how that could be helpful for you and your business. So I wanted to take a minute to share some key things that a lot of people may or may not be doing, or you may or may not know how to do, but want to make sure that you are able to do them, because it just really improves your ability to communicate more effectively through the platforms. It improves your professionalism while you're in the virtual environment. It provides branding and other valuable benefits for you and your business, and it just makes you more professional. That's especially important for entrepreneurs and business owners. So that's really what we want to do. I'm going to focus it on Zoom just because that's what I use the most, but most of these platforms allow you to do pretty much the same thing. Some have greater abilities on certain things than others, but overall, they allow you to do similar things. So let's take a look at what we're talking about. So one of the first things on Zoom, I teach my classes, other people, I find that, one thing is when people are on Zoom, many people have an image when they're not showing themselves, but many people do not. And that's the first thing that, if you're on Zoom, that's something that's easy to set up. It's always there. It is positive for your branding and for everything that you're doing. So encourage you to definitely pick an image. That helps with your brand so people know who you are. It helps with the meeting because they feel like you're more there than if you're just looking at a blank screen. And it's very easy to do. All you have to do is log into your Zoom account. And on your Zoom account, there's a place where you can upload your image. So I'll pull that up later so we can show you how to do that. But that's, one of the most important things, and it's very easy. So first thing you want to have an image. You want to have your name and your correct name under you. So very important. And second thing is, of course, you've got the controls for mute and unmute, and hopefully you can use those and you're familiar with those. But it's amazing how many times that people don't unmute or people don't mute when they should be muted, and you're hearing things that you don't need to hear. And also people mute when they're trying to talk. So, try and be aware of those, especially the worst one is being not muted and when you should. So definitely that. Another thing that you want to think about is it's so much better to be live and have people see your image and see you live than to just, have your image, or even worse, have a blank screen. So when you're doing that, what's important is, definitely come in looking presentable, but also you can do a virtual background. Virtual backgrounds are great. Not everybody knows how to do them. So very easy to do. If you go under Start Video on the mark next to it, then you can choose your virtual background. And it allows you to upload different virtual backgrounds by hitting the plus sign. And actually make it a little bigger. You can upload a virtual background, add an image, or add a video. And even if you have them, you can switch between different ones, which is nice. And if you don't have them, you can upload them. And, as you can see, I have a lot of different backgrounds, which can be used. So definitely, actually, let me see if I can put my camera on. Okay. So using a virtual background. Now, when you're using the virtual background, one thing that a lot of people, there's a button down here that says I have a green screen. So if you have a green screen, which is best, and if you don't have a green screen, you may want to get one. It's a small investment. You can get it on Amazon or a lot of other places. You can get one that just sits on the back of your chair or whatever. But, having a green screen is great. One thing about Zoom is it allows you to have a virtual background even if you don't have a green screen, where many of the programs will not. So, having a green screen is a good idea regardless. But if you don't have one, you can still use Zoom effectively and use a green screen. Also effectively, you can use a blur, so you can blur your background if you don't want people to see what's behind you. But virtual backgrounds are good. It definitely enhances your image as well as shows greater professionalism when you're using the platform. One thing that I find out and learned the hard way, but is very important, especially if you're presenting or doing videos or different things, is really when you're sharing screen, there's different options. And, using the right option is very helpful. So I just want to show you real quick the different options and how to use each one. So let me share my screen. Okay, so if we look here, generally you've got the share screen green button at the bottom. So with the share screen green button, you've got so then you can choose what screen you want to share. So we'll just say I'll share screen 1. But if you look here, you've got the option to share the sound or optimize it for a video clip. So if you just share the screen, you can see the screen and generally, but if you can stop the share, but if you have a video, you don't want to just share the screen. You want to share. You also want to optimize it for video clip. So what that does is it takes your image out of the side, so you have a full size screen for the video clip. And then also you want to share the sound, because if you don't hit share the sound, it's not going to share your computer sound. And as a result, people aren't really going to hear the video effectively, except for through your background or through your speakers. So, using Zoom, those are some of the key things that are helpful to learn and helpful to know, to just be more professional in what you're doing and be more successful in your meetings and more effective. So definitely wanted to share that. As well, I talked about, how do you change your image? And let me just walk through that, because it's something that's not that hard, but of course, you have to know how to do it. So let's take a look real quick. So if you want to have an image, you got to sign in. So you sign into your account, okay, and then you've got your profile. So under your profile, you've got a lot of different information that you can provide, and as well, you can edit your profile. And with the edit, let's see, should be able to. You can also click on your image or click here to upload an image. So it's as easy as that. Once you have that uploaded, every time you go on screen and you're not showing your camera, people are still going to see your face. So it's a great place for having a picture. Take the one from your LinkedIn profile or whatever, but definitely at a minimum, you should use this in all your communications. So hopefully that gives you some insights. You may have known a lot of these things, but just wanted to at least point them out, because if you don't know, now you know. And also you can see how to do it. And, so that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. But, as a way to work virtually a lot more effectively. So there's a couple other things that I'm implementing and have implemented to be able to do that further as well. And so want to get into those today. Also want to take a little bit of time out. It is the holidays and people are looking for gifts and valuable things. And one thing I always recommend is people reading books and other things to learn, build their knowledge, continually learn. So one of the things I want to give more information about is, excellent stocking stuffers and everything else. Could be my book, Running Your Small Business Like a Pro, or any of the follow-on things. So just want to share a little bit about what my book is about and how it can help you and how it's helped other people. So let's just take a second to do that. And then I'm going to come back and talk a little bit more about things that you can do to just work virtually in a more professional and successful way. So here you go.
Growing revenue, increasing profitability, and obtaining financing are the results of running your small business like a pro.
This is really the path to achieving the success that most entrepreneurs and business owners are looking to achieve. But it's a path where most people get stuck between step one and step two. Businesses close every day because their owners were not able to create a successful, sustainable enterprise. If you do not create an enterprise, the only way that you can sell your business successfully is you sell yourself with it.
This book is a common sense guide for learning how to run your small business as a professional enterprise.
You can pick up the book as a new entrepreneur or as a seasoned entrepreneur and get something out of it. It's very educational.
It provides a fundamental understanding of the challenges small businesses face with real-world solutions that drive results.
Life examples of what happens in business with cash flow, handling money, very, very accurate, and they were experiences that I've had.
Structure. If I do a shoot, I know that there are certain steps that I have to take to get me to where I need to go. But when it comes to business, I didn't have the same sense of what needed to be done. Andrew helped me see systems, the steps we take to grow a business. So he's helped systematize it.
I worked with a client who was looking to retire and sell his business and expected to get over $500,000 for it. However, when I assessed the business and looked to figure out what the value was, it was less than $100,000. Why was this? Because he didn't create an enterprise. The business was centered around him, and without him, there wasn't a business. This book helps you to understand how to create an enterprise where it can run successfully without you.
Get your copy today. Andrew Frazier's new book online at www.runningyoursmallbusinesslikeapro.com. Also available on Amazon.
Okay, welcome back to Leadership Live at 8:05, talking small business. Today we're talking about how to use technology to work virtually like a pro. So we talked about first, if you're working virtually, video conferencing, you're going to be doing, I'm sure you're already doing that. And there's certain just best practices. We talked a little bit about Zoom and showed you how to do it. But, at a minimum, in the virtual environment, it's important to have an image. So if you can't be live and show your video, at least they should be able to see an image of you. So that's the first piece, where you go and log into your Zoom account, and under your profile, you can upload the picture. And then that picture is available every time you're on, and anytime you're not on camera live, that image is going to be there. So that's number one. We talked a little bit about virtual backgrounds and how they work and how you can use them. And then we also did a look at some of the key things when you're sharing your screen. So you can go back. We got the recording if you want to see the details on how it works. But that's one of the first things that you need to do is master video conferencing. The second thing that's important is managing your time and managing your calendar. And especially as a small business owner, you're going to be setting meetings. People are going to be inviting you to meetings. So having a really good calendar and working through your calendar is critical. I use the Google Calendar. Google's great. I did everything I could for as long as I could to not use Google stuff, just because it seemed like they were taking over the world. But eventually I had to cave because they're the best. And, you got to admit it. So, so first off, using the Google Calendar and the Google platform allows you as a business owner access to so much technology, automations. It connects easily with everything. But the other side of the calendar is a lot of times you're scheduling meetings with people. And a lot of times you may be spending a lot of time wasting time trying to schedule, get people on your calendars. And there's so many good apps for you to schedule people and schedule meetings virtually and automatically. And it could be such a time saver. But not only that, people like that interaction because it makes it easier for them too. And it's more professional. So one of the platform I use is Acuity scheduling, but it allows people to automatically schedule with me. I can send them a link, set up different types of meetings. So I have like a 15-minute meeting, a 30-minute meeting, an hour meeting, specific meeting setups for each of the clients I work with in terms of Small Business Development Center. I meet with people under that, so they get a personalized SBDC meeting notice and meeting setup. Same with Rising Tide Capital, same with NJMEP. So it's a really good way to save time and work more efficiently, but also be viewed more professionally, because the interaction is positive for the people you work with, because it makes it easy for them to schedule with you, reschedule. And then if you go into the programs, you can actually brand them. You can put your images, you can have automatic follow-ups, a lot of powerful things that you can do. And especially as a small business owner, once you set it up, it'll continue to do that. And, one of the biggest challenges is time. There's never enough hours in a day, but because of these automations and because of taking advantage of the capabilities of the technology, it really allows me to work as efficiently as possible and focus my time and my energies on what I do best and most profitably, and really be able to help more business owners each day. So looking at, one, managing your calendar, make sure that your calendar app or your program where you manage your calendar, you're using it effectively, but also using a scheduling app can be very positive, especially if you do meetings or other stuff. You can use it on the go. People can do it whenever they have time. They can pick their own time for the meeting, so it's more likely that they're going to be there and that they're available. So there's all upside, no downside. So definitely managing your calendar, getting one of the scheduling programs and being able to use that is key. So that's number 2, is being able to manage your calendar, manage your schedule, smoothly schedule meetings and events and activities through a scheduling app. So that's number 2. So what I wanted to do, since it's the holidays, like I mentioned, we've got Christmas coming up. We've got, I guess Hanukkah already happened or happening. And then we've got Kwanzaa and other things. So if you're preparing for the beginning of the year and to have a great year, definitely planning is key. One of the key ways you can do that is reading. So, showed a quick video about my book, Running Your Small Business Like a Pro. And what I want to do is, one, I'm going to put a link in the chat. So if you're interested in that or other books, I have a recommended reading list online. So I'm going to put a link to that in the chat. You can order those, or there's other books on the recommended reading. Click on them, see if you're interested. Feel free to order them, but wanted to make sure that we make that available. So just going to run another video about what's specifically in my book, but not only that, I created a companion workbook, which is really powerful. So even if you have my book, the companion workbook is really powerful because you can actually use the thing that and practice what you're learning in the book, so that you know it even better and understand it even better. So that's available now as well. So let me just give you a little bit of info about that with quick videos. I'll put the link up, and then we'll be back to talk about another way that you can use the technology to work virtually or professionally with your business. So let's check that out. And here's a little bit about it. My first book is Running Your Small Business Like a Pro. And really, that took me 5 years to write. It was, your first book, as you know, is the hardest one.
Right, exactly. Let me take a...
But it really took the work of working with 500 plus business owners.
So 500, wow, that's
great. Looked at the patterns that I've seen and really broke down the things that they needed to know in terms of, how did they get where they are now? What's their most important job as a business owner? What is their greatest fear? And then, is it your employees, or are you crazy? Because, definitely managing people is a challenge for small businesses, and just, important things about financing and retirement, all those things that you need to know as a business owner, but where would you have learned them? Who's teaching you that? So many business owners don't know those things. The first book, people really liked and found it valuable, but to get more out of it, I put together a workbook.
Okay,
So,
nice, okay.
One of the things we talk about is your greatest fear as a business owner,
Right.
which is numbers and analysis. So in the book, we talk about, your financials, your financial statements, what you should look for, but just reading about it versus doing exercises on it, that really helps you to understand it better. We also have the 60-second commercial format.
Right.
And
Oh, this
in
is great.
here,
Some real good exercises, yeah.
you can create
Very
your own.
interesting.
So it allows you to really take what you read about and actually employ it for you and for your business.
Excellent.
Welcome back to Leadership Live at 8:05. I'm your host, Andrew Frazier. Just showed you a quick video about the workbook and workbook that I put together. Running your small business like a pro, just really a way to learn key things that you need to know as a business owner, but not only just learn them in the book, but you can actually work on them and do exercises and practice it in the workbook. So, definitely have a combo deal for the holidays. So if you're interested, I've just put the recommended reading in the chat. So it's a page that has, my books, but also the books of others that are, that I found are great. I have a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs that I coach and consult with, recommend some of these key books because, that's a great way you can learn very valuable information that'll help you throughout your growth in business. And at the end of the day, being successful in business is about leadership, but the ability to lead is about being able to make good decisions. But you need good information and you need knowledge, and books are a great source for accumulating it. So you can learn from other people what they've learned and be able to avoid some potholes and be able to recognize opportunities that you otherwise might not have. So definitely that's, a key, important thing to look at as well. So now in the virtual environment, we've been talking about in the virtual environment, you're doing a lot more video conferencing, video meetings, meeting virtually, and how to do that more effectively, come across more professional, and really get more out of the meetings and provide more to others who are in the meetings. We talked about also in the virtual environment, it's important. You still have to meet with people. You still need to schedule to meet with people. You need to manage your schedule and your time effectively. So one piece of it is your calendar. How well are you managing your calendar? Are you keeping it up to date? Are you using it effectively? I mean, my calendar runs my day. I look at my calendar and follow. That basically drives what I'm going to do every day. So if it's not on my calendar, it's probably not getting done. So I make sure that everything gets to the calendar. The other side is scheduling meetings. It could be a pain in the butt, but there's so many apps and platforms that make it really easy. But not only make it really easy, it does it in such a professional way where people can schedule their own meeting, schedule a convenient time, it's more likely that they're going to meet with you. If they need to reschedule, it's a lot easier for them to reschedule. And as well, not just that, but when you have it, you can brand it, you can customize it, so you can set up the meetings anyway. So those are two key things that we talked about. If you want to go into more detail, just check out the recording if you missed this part. And wanted to talk about a third thing that is hugely valuable for me in the virtual environment. It was valuable before the virtual environment, but it's become even more valuable. And that's really being able to use LinkedIn more effectively and use it to really focus on being able to build connections, build relationships, continue relationships, strengthen relationships. So even though you can't meet in person, you can get more understanding of who a person is and be able to communicate, understand them better, also have them understand you better. So using LinkedIn is key. As a professional, every business owner needs to be on LinkedIn. Every business owner needs to have a profile that's decent. Every business owner should have 500 connections or more. Those are just things that you should do. So if you haven't, it's not like you're alone, but that doesn't mean you're in a good place. So if this is you, take some time, spend a little time with LinkedIn, do a little bit to improve your profile. It's valuable real estate. It's tremendous for branding. It's tremendous for building relationships. So a couple things that you need to do. If you don't have a picture on your LinkedIn profile, put one up yesterday. Start with, a decent picture. If you need to get a better one, get a better one. But people need to see who you are and appreciate who you are and know who you are, so that if they meet you or if they're going to meet with you, they have an idea of who you are. And, we talk about it on a lot of these episodes when we talk about marketing, because there's really 3 reasons people buy from you. Number 1, they know you. Number 2, they like you. And number 3, they trust you. And all those things can be enhanced through your LinkedIn profile. Number 1, with the image, they can know you better, have a better, and also with your profile, if you communicate what you do and who you are, then they can know you and know how you help them. Liking, based on your LinkedIn profile, they can, determine if you have things in common, if there's things they know about you that they like about you, that they can determine straight from your LinkedIn profile and trust you. Number 1, having a good LinkedIn profile, having connections, that one, provides, a demonstration of professionalism, a demonstration of the ability to use technology, and which is important as far as trust. They can see your background, what you've done, who you've done things for. If you have recommendations and other things that lead to the trust and the credibility, look at who you're connected to. See if there's people that they know they're connected to. So it just does all that, and it's free. So you should definitely, if you're not taking advantage of that, make sure you've got your profile, you've got your image, and you're using LinkedIn, and you're making connections. So that's just the first step in the power of LinkedIn. That's like the first minimum standard that every business owner needs to do. Beyond that, there's a lot of other things. I'm not going to focus on that tonight, but actually I have a guest, Gene Bahinsky. He's going to come on December 28th, so 2 weeks from tonight, and we're really going to talk about how do you really maximize the value you can get from LinkedIn, because there's tremendous value. A lot of people run their businesses based on what they're doing on LinkedIn, And you should you can unlock a lot of that value if you know how to do it and you know what to do. So Gene does this every day, not just for his business, but for many other businesses. And we're going to talk about, what things can you do with LinkedIn and how do you do them? And, everywhere from, building relationships and connecting, messaging, posting, articles, recommendations, but not only that, even taking it to the next level, prospecting using LinkedIn. As far as being able to look at profiles using LinkedIn Navigator, the ability to use events as part of your process, and even taking it to the next level and getting virtual help so that you can even maximize what you're doing even further, and using virtual assistants at a reasonable cost, and how that can even boost your business further. So as a small business owner, leveraging technology is key, and LinkedIn provides you an easy way to do that. So definitely that's the third thing I wanted to chat about today. And, many of you may know, but I do have a book that I finished up this summer. I never really had an official launch for it, but, it's tremendous. It's called The Masterpreneur Playbook, and encourage you to check it out. You may have seen the Masterpreneur Playbook summary, which I made available for free through the university. So if you've seen the summary, that was preliminary, and built the rest of the book out of the summary, and really powerful way to learn more about how to move your business forward. So I'm going to show you a quick video that tells you a little bit about what the Masterpreneur Playbook is and how it works. And then I'll be back, and we'll talk a little bit more. So here's the Masterpreneur Playbook.
This is my most recent. It's not even available yet.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
The Masterpreneur Playbook.
Okay.
And really, we talked about is there's 5 steps to growing your business.
Yeah.
And, really laying out what those steps are, but not only what the steps are, how do you transition through them? And, each stage, you have certain things, there's a certain challenge that you have to overcome.
Right.
There's a certain goal you have to achieve.
Right.
There's a certain role you have as a business owner.
Right.
There's a certain structure that you need to have within your business to support that role and move into the next role. So each step, I lay out what those things are.
Wonderful.
Because each one of those has a key skill that you have to have as the business owner. You have to evolve and continually learn, or you're going to get stuck. You can only go as far as you're prepared to take.
Welcome back to Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business. This is Andrew Frazier, your host, and we've been talking about using technology to basically work virtually like a pro, and some strategies for being able to do that more effective. So you'll be more professional, you'll be more efficient and more effective. So that's key. Also shared, it is the holidays. You may be thinking about gifts, or you may be thinking about for the coming year, either for yourself or for others. If you know a business owner or aspiring business owner, one of the best things they can do is read about business. So shared a little bit about my books, as well as shared a link to my recommended reading that does include my books as well. So check them out. These are valuable things and great reads, and you can pick up a lot of valuable knowledge. So, as far as mine, I have a discount on if you get the book and the workbook together. So you can save if you get both. Great great for entrepreneurs and business owners, whether you're starting out or whether you've been in business for a long time. It really covers a lot of key things you need to know. And I guarantee you, even if you've been in business 20 years, you don't know everything that's in that book, because it's taken from people across, in so many different stages, and so much different experiences. So much went into that. It took me 5 years to write the book because I really wanted to make sure it was really good and it was very helpful for people. So something you may want to check out or share with someone else. So you've got the workbook and the book special, or if you really want to go all the way, we've got the Business Pro combo, which not only includes the workbook and the workbook, but it also includes the Masterpreneur Playbook. So you can get all 3 books and save even more. Check them out on the recommended reading, as well as the other books that we have. Actually, I can just show you the recommended reading page real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. So let's see, I'll go smaller. So these are the books. These are from our press, Small Business Pro University. You can get them individually, or you can get the combos. And I've got the book in Spanish as well. And I'm working on getting out my book, Getting Your Business Financed Faster and Easier, because that's an important topic for many business owners. So you could pre-order that. And as well, in January, I've actually been working on another book that I'm planning to launch in January, and something that you may want to check out. It's Increased Profitability by Making Better Business Decisions, because business is all about decisions. So you've got my books. You also have other books that are great. The E-Myth, Revisited, Michael Gerber. It's a classic. Every business owner should read that. It's tremendous, timeless. The one-page marketing plan. We talk about how marketing is your most important job as a business owner. But the problem is, many people don't even understand that marketing and sales are 2 different things, and how to market and what it means to market, because that's something you should be doing every day. But not only that, there's so many different types of marketing and certain things. So it's important to start with your marketing strategy and your marketing plan before you start just doing stuff. So this, outlines it makes it easy to put together a plan. And then based on your plan, that's how you decide what type of marketing activities you want to do. So Alan Dibb's a master. And what he does is he breaks down marketing from a small business owner perspective. Because many times what large businesses do in terms of marketing is the opposite of what you need to be doing as a business owner. So, understanding that is key and critical. So highly recommend, if you haven't checked it out, the one-page marketing plan. It will provide super valuable strategies for making 2022 your best year ever. Also, always recommend How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. These are the 3 books that every business owner should read. Dale Carnegie's is a classic. Being a Leader is about influence and relationships. Being a Successful Business Owner is about influence, relationships. And he's the master at really breaking it down to its essence. And it's not like it's that complex. And many things we know but don't necessarily do. But some of the things, just little things you can do, can go a super long way. So check that out. Even if you've read some of these, if it's been a few years, I would recommend you check them out again. My brother has a great book, How to Be Most Likely to Succeed. We've got the Business Plan book by Lorena Edwards. So it's a workbook that you work through the workbook, and when you finish it, you've got your business plan. Makes it much easier, and it talks you through it and provides the info you need, and you can work on it right there in the book. one of my all-time favorites, Reginald Lewis, or the late Reginald Lewis. Why should white guys have all the fun? It's not necessarily a black book, but it shows how he, as an African American, was able to do the largest leverage buyout ever at the time, and what it took, the commitment that it took, and really just how he was determined to do it and figured out how to do that. And as a business owner, you have to be determined to achieve your goals. It's not for the faint of heart. So, it's inspiring. So definitely, if you want a good read, that's excellent. The Lonely Entrepreneur by Michael Dermer, very knowledgeable, great guy, had a successful business, survived the crisis and was able to build back up and sell his business. So he learned a lot and shares that in The Lonely Entrepreneur. Intelligent Influence by Dale Caldwell. Leadership based on your ability to influence people. And it's important to understand how you're influenced before you can understand how to influence others. And you have to understand their influences. So Intelligent Influence really breaks it down in a good way. Definitely worth checking out. And Built to Sell, John Werflow. When you start your business, you want to start your business with the end in mind. And that's what Built to Sell is all about. It talks about building your business so that it's prepared to sell, and has a great story of how he mentored an entrepreneur through the process to really take his business and make it into a business that someone might buy, and then also worked with them through the process of actually selling the business. So these are some great reads, tremendous knowledge in them. So if you get a chance, I highly recommend that you check them out. So that's my recommended reading. On that page, there's links to each of those. So not only can you see them there, you can get a link and go to learn more about it and order them if you choose to. So, hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully you have some good reading over the holidays, build your knowledge and grow. And then when we come into the new year, we want to supercharge your year. If you've been to the Power Breakfast, you understand what being supercharged is all about. It's really about coming in, learning things, making connections, building relationships that really help you to come out supercharged, excited, energized about really moving your business forward. And that's what the Power Breakfast is all about. We've been doing them for over 10 years. And, the result has been tremendous for many business owners. We've had over 1,000 people attend. And the impact has been really, we've had millions of dollars in economic activity between businesses that have come. We've helped people get millions of dollars in financing. So it's been tremendous. So if that's something that interests you, I encourage you to come. We'll have it in northern New Jersey. The next one is going to be at the Galloping Hills in Kenilworth, New Jersey, so right off the Garden State Parkway. And we're going to do a full-day conference. So here's a quick video about what the Power Breakfast is, and hopefully you can join us on January 28th. If you are looking to increase revenues, improve profitability, and or obtain financing for your business, you need to check out the Power Breakfast and Small Business Pro conferences. My name is Andrew Frazier. One of the things we're here to do is supercharge your day.
Today's Power Breakfast has really been a phenomenal experience. I think it's exactly what business owners need, some true guidance of people who are genuine and really are leading them in the true direction of business growth and expansion.
The Power Breakfast is so important for the entrepreneurial community because it gives the various business people who come together an opportunity to interact and also do some business.
These events, hosted by Andrew Frazier, President and COO of Small Business Like a Pro, will supercharge your day.
Welcome back to Leadership Live at 8:05. As we're getting ready to close out, you saw a quick video about the Power Breakfast, what it's all about. Hopefully you can join us. This is just is a little bit about the upcoming breakfast. And I put the link in the chat where you can go to learn about the breakfast and even sign up for the next one. So next one's going to be January 28th. And we have some tremendous guest speakers. At the breakfast, we're going to have John Kennedy, CEO of NJMEP. He does a great job continuing to lead that organization forward and, being on the forefront of NJMEPs or MEPs throughout the country. We also have the killer pitch master, Precious Williams, who's really going to, bring a tremendous message. She's on fire this year, doing a lot of great things. So we're excited to have her as well. So John and Precious will be the speakers at the breakfast and the lunch. And you can register here online as well. And hopefully we'll see you there. I think it'll be a great event and activity. We had our first one since the pandemic at the end of October. Great attendance. Dale Caldwell was a featured guest speaker, and very valuable event. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for this next one. So once again, thanks for joining me on Leadership Live at 8:05, talking small business. This was a little bit of a different format, but I think that some of these things are very helpful, especially for coming into the new year, thinking about how you're going to move your business forward more effectively. We're going to take some time next week to do something similar, but we're going to talk about a lot of the platforms that I've learned about and am using to automate and scale my business, and want to make sure that you know about them so you can potentially take advantage of them as well. So hopefully you can join us next week. We're going to have some things that you can take away immediately and put to work within your business. And from tonight's, take away, run, be more effective with your virtual meetings. Use your calendar and your schedule and your scheduling with others to your advantage by making it more efficient and more effective. And then maximize the value of LinkedIn. At least get in at the base level of the minimum things that you should have and be on there as a business owner. We're going to talk a lot more about LinkedIn with the episode focused on that with Gene Bahinsky in 2 weeks. And next week, we're going to talk about using tech to automate and scale your business. So I guess we got the holidays up, shared some info about my book, other books. Check them out if you're interested. And, at the end of the day, as a business owner, the most important thing to remember is the more you know, the faster your business will grow. So thanks again, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you for listening to Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Leadership Live is one of the many valuable resources provided through the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Find out more at sbpro.u.com.